sunshiny day in the Mojave Desert. Today, I'm going to focus on some drive modes for your Lexus GX460. So, stay tuned, and we're going to learn some basics. Okay, the Lexus GX460 owner's manual certainly doesn't help beginners learn drive modes, but let's go over the basics. Let's start at the beginning, and I'll let you all know that right now I'm in 4 high. So right now I'm in 4 high, and 4 high basically is your high range of gears, and it's going to allow a power split of 60% in the back or rear and 40% in the front. The center differential in this case, where we're driving now, is not on. So we have a 60-40 split with a Torsen limited slip differential. In this mode, if I were to hit pavement suddenly, in other words, if this road ahead was just going to suddenly turn into a pavement, I'd be A-okay. You just keep driving. So the default mode for the Lexus GX460 is this full-time 4-wheel drive with a 60-40, 60% in the rear, 40% in the front power split. And it's perfect when you're on these kind of moderate, flattish dirt roads where you may encounter pavement. And out here, believe it or not, you'll encounter old paved roads. And so let's say a paved road was about to come up, which it is later on. You don't have to switch anything over. You're still in 4-wheel drive, both on and off-road. However, it comes at a slight disadvantage being in 4 high like this on the dirt road. And that is quite simply that you have that 60-40 power split. Now, why does Lexus have a 60-40 power split like that, you may ask? You know, what's behind this 60-40 stuff? Why not 50-50? Well, Lexus decides to bias the power split 60-40 with a rear bias. So on road, your Lexus will have a slightly more, shall we say, sporty type of handling, like a a sports car. as hard as that is to imagine, but here's the bottom line: is people like the fishtail effect. They like a loose rear end, and by having the majority, not really majority, but a slight rear bias in the back, that's 60%. On road, in your default full-time 4-wheel drive, which we're in now, no center differential locked, we're just in the default mode. When we get on road, you're going to have that loose rear end feel that people like. So bottom line is, the default full-time 4-wheel drive is rear biased for your on-road enjoyment. Now, something I really want to point out about full-time 4-wheel drive that people kind of get mixed up sometimes or confused about. They're like, what's this 4-wheel drive, blah, blah, blah. Full-time 4-wheel drive. And in a nutshell, full-time, and this is what I want to press, full-time 4-wheel drive is more on-road oriented. Yes, it's helping me right now because I'm in 4-wheel drive, just 60-40. However, your main benefit of full-time 4-wheel drive is on-road. You're going to get that extra level of safety when you're on pavement, because all 4 wheels are going at the same time. Because all 4 wheels on pavement are going all at the same time, you're going to have that extra level of safety in rainy conditions, snowy conditions, mud on the road, sand on the road, these sort of things. So it's very safe on road. So don't think of full-time four-wheel drive as this off-road, off-road centric mode. It is, don't get me wrong, it's awesome right now as we're off-road. But as we go on-road, that's what it's really about. It's about how you're going to handle on-road, which is super, super safe. So again, if you have loved ones that you care about on-road, full-time four-wheel drive is going to give you that all four wheels getting power. And yes, all four wheels get power. People have commented that, no, full-time four-wheel drive is, we're still going to go in 4 high here as we go down this hill. Full-time four-wheel drive only, it's open differential, so you're only getting power to one wheel. That's not true, okay? In a open differential, the power is variated. So all four wheels will get power in full-time four-wheel drive, just at differing rates or values, shall you say. That's the only way you can have full-time four-wheel drive on the pavement. Otherwise, the drivetrain would bind up. So it's not like the power cuts out completely on one wheel and full-time four-wheel drive when you're on the pavement. They vary. So you're going to trade speed for torque. Speed for torque. So you're going to have varying levels of speed or torque. They're reciprocals on all four wheels, but you will have power going to all four wheels all the time. Unless, of course, you completely take a wheel off the ground, but that will never happen. At least shouldn't happen when you're on road. Speaking of on road, here we are. I'm in full-time four-wheel drive, super safe on the dirt, and now we're going to bang a right turn here. Look at that. You don't have to switch anything over. There you go. You like that sound of that V8? I'm not a V8 person. I'm a 4-cylinder person. But if you like the V8, you'll love this about the Lexus, that V8 sound. Some people like that. But anyway, here we are. Now we're on pavement, and you've got four wheels going. All four wheels, 60-40 split again, and you are super safe. You hit that patch of sand right there, don't worry about it. You're not going to feel any squirreliness. So always remember that this default 4 high full-time four-wheel drive mode in the Lexus GX is very much on-road safety oriented. But as you just saw, you just go off-road on dirt roads like that. Those were some pretty rough roads, nothing extreme, but you don't have to push any buttons, just drive the thing. Okay, so let's go find some other situations to get in and see if we can explore this default full-time four-wheel drive system on the Lexus GX460 some more. So why would you get full-time four-wheel drive? It's perfect for this situation here. We're on pavement. You live in an area that is constantly, I think here comes a G-Wagon, guys, to our left, which also, incidentally, has full-time four-wheel drive. Here it comes, a white one. Hello, G-Wagon. There it goes. That has a full-time four-wheel drive, too. And I can do what we're about to do, which is go right off-road without switching over anything. So we just went from pavement to off-road just like that. So full-time, the Lexus GX460 full-time four-wheel drive is perfect if you live in an area that has a lot of on and off-road conditions. In other words, pavement and dirt, because you don't have to switch back and forth. It's important to note that the Toyota full-time four-wheel drive system is not a slip and grip system. There's an actual third mechanical differential in the system known as a center differential. There are 3 differentials in the Toyota 4Runner Limited, the Lexus GX460, the Lexus LX, and the Toyota Landcruiser. As for a current model, some older models had center differentials as well. But it is very important to note that this is not a slip and grip system. This is a, as Toyota calls it, full time, because it truly is. And not all models of Toyotas have this. Not all models of other vehicles have this full-time four-wheel drive feature. For instance, the Jeep Wrangler does not have full-time four-wheel drive. It does not have a third differential. The standard Toyota 4Runners, including the TRD Off-Road and TRD Pro, do not have center differentials. They only have two differentials. The 4Runner Limited does have a center differential, the same one I believe as this vehicle here. So if full-time four-wheel drive is important to you, you want to make sure that you spec whatever vehicle you're interested in. Here comes a Jeep. Pull my mirrors in. And anyway, you're gonna make sure to spec to make sure that it does indeed have a center differential for that full-time four-wheel drive action. It's very, very critical if you want this true full-time four-wheel drive system. So again, we're still in 4 high here. On the default, there's no center differential locked, and this, again, we got the 60-40 split. I'm gonna go up, see what's up here, and this kind of looks fun. Let's see, which way does the road go? Doesn't matter. Ouch! A little bit steep there, but speed and torque are reciprocal, so with enough speed, up you go, right? I think the road's back over here. So we're going to be coming up again on pavement soon. And with this full-time four-wheel drive, you don't need to switch anything over. Just back on pavement you go, and you're good to go. So, major convenience for going off-road, and major safety on-road. Now many will say, well, I could do all this in front-wheel drive or rear-wheel drive, go on and off-road like we're about to do again. And that's all good, you know, that is true. But this is a system that gives you all 4 wheels. I'll take this at an angle. Without pushing any buttons, you're back on the road with all 4 wheels going. So it's that added touch. You know, you could do what we just did in rear-wheel drive just fine, but you're going to have that fishtail effect when you're off-road. You know, your front wheels obviously aren't going to be gripping anything. So it's that extra level of ability, let's say, and convenience, because it gets old having to stop and push into 4x4. Not that it's a big deal, it's just one less thing you gotta do. Alright, so we just turned off-road here again, and we're still in 4 auto, or excuse me, 4 not 4 auto, 4 high without the center differential lock, so 60-40 split. Now you may be asking yourself, well, when do you lock the center differential? And that's a great question, and the answer is, which way should we go? It looks a little wet here. Let's try this way. The answer is you want to lock the center differential when you want your maximum off-road capabilities. And that, when you lock your center differential, look at all this trash, man. When you lock your center differential, you're gonna get, you're gonna get 50-50. You're gonna get 50-50 power split, because the center differential is essentially gonna lock the front and rear, and instead of getting that 60-40 split, you're gonna get a 50-50 split, and that is going to give you the best off-road ability in 4 high. But it comes with a catch, which is you cannot use it on pavement, because on firm pavement the wheels have to move at different speeds in order to not bind the drive line or bind the transmission. So that's the gist of it. So I could be in 50-50 4-wheel drive. In other words, lock the center differential here. But it's not too bad. So the 60-40. Ow! The 60-40 does just fine. And we're going to be on pavement here in a second anyway, so yet another example of why full-time 4-wheel drive is simply awesome if you're in a environment that goes continually from what you see, what we just did, to what you see right now, which is pavement. Don't have to do anything. When you go, I gotta stick up my mirrors though. So if you had the center differential locked, I'd have to stop there and unlock the center differential in order to go back on the pavement. But in full-time 4-wheel drive, you're able to, again, do both just fine and just carry on. So it makes transitioning on and off road, as you see here, we got black pavement, but right ahead you got dirt again. So it makes that transition seamless, and it's very, very safe on road. The reason why vehicles like the GX, or which is the Landcruiser Prado overseas, the reason why they're popular in third world countries is because they have roads like this. So they're going to be getting in those countries, just like we see here, these constant on and off road conditions, and that's where again the center differential shines, when you're going to have to go back and forth. And third world countries are known for having developed sections and then undeveloped sections, and then like out here you could have flash flooding. As you see, there's some rain on the road, and then things can wash away, roads can wash away, and it's this constant back and forth between shall we say you know, civilized and uncivilized. I don't have any other better way to say it other than just say that. And you know, that's what you're gonna get. You know, here we're on a paved road in the desert, and up ahead I can see we're about to hit a bunch of sand. So again, full-time 4-wheel drive, you're not gonna have to worry about any slip as we hit these patches in. Now we're on pavement, look. We're gonna hit all this mess, and you still got traction. You don't have to worry about slipping and sliding. Oh, the road is completely, look at this. So this is where it shines. You just go. you know. And yeah, you could do this in rear-wheel drive, and you're gonna, as soon as you catch that sand and accelerate, you're gonna be all over the place. And yes, you can do it, but it's not the safest, the most convenient, and it's certainly not the most comfortable or confidence-inspiring. And there you go, just like that, the road disappears, and suddenly we're on the dirt again. Haven't touched a button, okay? You just get in and go. Haven't touched a button. So this is your thing, or you just even like the idea of it, you know, full-time four-wheel drive on the Lexus GX460 or the Toyota 4Runner Limited is going to be for you. Oh, I gotta figure out where this is even going. Alright, we're back on track here, I think. And here you can see we're in a wash here. So this is where water just likes to naturally flow, and the full-time four-wheel drive and 4 high handles it just fine with a 60-40 split. If I wanted maximum traction, then I'd lock the center differential and we get that 50-50. But I can see tire track, so it's not shouldn't be too bad. And it's got some mud going on here. What's all this stuff? A little bit of trash we don't want to drive over. You know, and another concern of people is, you know, is this full-time? What's the name of this road? Back of Beyond Trail is the name of it. A lot of people say, you know, is this full-time four-wheel drive a real 4x4 mode? You know, is it just a gimmick? You know, blah. As you can see here, yeah, it's real 4x4. You're either on road with 4 wheels going, or you're off, and it's getting you through this. Now I know this is not super duper extreme, but we've tested it in some pretty ridiculous conditions, and it's just a little bit less effective than a 50-50 center differential lock type of 4-wheel drive. But make no mistake, it's not a gimmick. When you're in default mode, this thing will go off-road without pushing any buttons or playing around with anything. It just goes. Interesting conditions out here, so you know, it's full-time four-wheel drive is also good for these areas that get flash flooded, like what we're in, and the road surfaces suddenly change like this. Like this doesn't stay like this. This looks like it's been washed out. You know, the conditions change, basically. Nature changes it around. There's some plywood where people got stuck. Okay, so the conditions change. And, you know, it's just very third world out here. Which is fun, but it's definitely a selling point of the vehicle itself, without any shadow of a doubt. So we're gonna go ahead here and see what kind of conditions we see. I haven't been down this way in a long time. I just want to highlight for everybody what full-time four-wheel drive can do without the center differential locked. It can do a whole lot. And some might even argue that the slight 60-40 the slight 60-40 bias off-road, like what I'm doing now, is kind of like you get a little bit of that fun fishtail effect, so it's kind of, yeah, it can be fun too. But it's definitely a drive mode that is a go anywhere drive mode within reason, and then if things get unreasonable, just lock the center diff, like I said, and you'll get traditional 50-50 4x4 with all your traction aids, which we'll get into later. But on this vehicle, in 4 high, you're going to have a traction mode called track, not a track. That house is cool. But anyway, you're going to have track. And track is going to basically act as a limited slip differential on your front and rear wheels. Okay, so ooh, look at that big mud hole. So basically, it acts as a center limited slip front and rear differential. Track. Now I'm not talking about A-track. Track. So track is going to allow for some wheel spin. All right, the GoPro is too hot apparently. So as I was saying, GoPro says it needs to cool down. In 4 high, whether you're in full-time four-wheel drive or not, it's going to act as a limited slip differential, the track function, and that's going to allow for wheel spin in situations where you want to get your speed up. I think I've been up this way before. So again, I'm still in 4 high, and we're going to do a little rock on. I should be in 4 low here to help me out, but I'll just do it in 4 high without anything locked or anything. 60-40 split, up we go, just fine. So, you know, the full-time four-wheel drive is not a gimmick. But anyway, the track is going to act as a limited slip differential, so it's going to allow your front and rear axles to have a little bit of wheel spin to keep you going. You know what I mean? Ooh, look at this steep one. Now this is a 4 low type of situation, but to just show you what it can do. Now I'm tapping the brakes a little bit. It's not that big of a hill, so I'm just going to kind of roll down in 4 high. That'd be way better in 4 low. Okay, oh, let's get back on the road maybe, which is over here, I think. So we're doing all this in default mode, and it's very capable. But that track will allow you to basically get out of some loose situations. So when you're on a loose surface and you need to get that wheel spin in order to make your vehicle lighter, it will definitely help in those situations. So anyway, if I'm babbling, what I'm trying to say is track is awesome, and that's what you default to in 4 high. So don't think of this car as just having it just has a track. Nope, it has track, which is not a Mickey Mouse system. It's literally a limited slip differential mimicker, and it works very, very good. A-track, sorry about the rattling. A-track is a brake locking differential and acts like a locker when you're in 4 low, and that is not a gimmick. That works very, very good. So If you found this video helpful, please remember to like and subscribe. Get out there and enjoy your 4x4 or your Lexus GX460 or whatever vehicle you have that's equipped with full-time four-wheel drive or center differential. I hope it's brought you a better understanding of what the system is, what it's capable of, what it's not capable of, and how to enjoy it better and what it's meant for. Do remember that the ultimate benefit of full-time four-wheel drive, other than the convenience of going on and off-road, is on-road safety. It's an on-road feature primarily. But as we saw in this video, it's also super duper capable off-road. Not as good as a 50-50 lock in the center diff, but good enough in most situations where you got to go back and forth. But anyway, please like and subscribe. Thank you. Have a great day.